Shakliar Wajri, Honorable Minister of Sports and Youth Affairs, Government of Meghalaya, Shri Lalnging Lovamhar, Honorable Minister of Sports and Youth Services, Government of Mizoram, esteemed gathering of invitees and officials and ministers, a very good morning once again. I would please request the people who are still having their tea to please come in and take their seats so we can continue with our conclave. The topic for this session is Shaping the Future Athletes to 2036 Olympics. Before we get into our topic, I think with such an esteemed gathering, it is imperative that we know who is who. This is the first time that Mizoram has hosted such a wonderful conclave. So I would like to call upon our Honorable Sports Minister, Shri Lalnging Lovamhar. For most of us, Putetea in Mizoram, I would like to call upon him to please give the introductions that he feels is necessary. Sir, can you please come on stage?
We feel that it would be an injustice if we go home without knowing each other. So, even though it's not a part of the schedule, but we would like to do a round of introduction from our side. I will start from the farthest. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Grandmaster Professor Hee Do Kim. Would you please stand up from your seat? Grandmaster Professor Hee Do Kim is from South Korea. He is 3 times world champion. We have another Grandmaster in our midst, Grandmaster Lee Jae-koo. He is again from South Korea. Thank you. I will just read out the list. If I missed out a new one, then I will request the LO, whoever is sitting with them, to raise their hand and to make sure that we do not miss out anyone. Mr. Rushdie Worley, would you please stand up? Mr. Rushdie Worley is the CEO of Inspire Institute of Sports. He is from South Africa. Thank you. Mr. Kamlesh Mehta. Mr. Kamlesh Mehta, he is 8-time national champion in table tennis. He is an Arjuna awardee. He is the Secretary General of Table Tennis Federation of India. And his wife, please keep on standing, his wife Mona Lisa Mehta, she is the first Arjuna awardee from Northeast. She was a national TT champion, and she is from Assam. She is from Northeast. Please be seated. The President of Indian Weightlifting Federation, Mr. Sadev Yadav. Would you please stand up from your seat? Thank you. The Secretary General of Boxing Federation of India, Mr. Hemanta Kumar Kalita. Welcome to Aizawl. Of course, the Sports Minister of Assam, she had already landed. She is on her way from the airport, she is on her way to the conclave venue. And Nilam, would you please stand up again from your seat? Nilam Barbadesai, she is the head of Sports Tata Trust. Thank you. We have Mr. Mihir Vatsava. Mr. Mihir Vatsava is from Indian Express. He is a senior assistant editor. Mr. Varun Singh. Yes, he is the Secretary of Services, Sports Control Board. Thank you. Mr. Kalyan Choube, he will be reaching in the afternoon. And I will have to update my list because, some of them canceled their trip for many reasons. Mr. Yawan Sen Gupta. Mr. Yawan Sen Gupta, he is the editor of Sports Star. Thank you. We were expecting the Sports Minister of Manipur, but due to unavoidable circumstances, he could not turn up. In fact, he already prepared his presentation for this conclave and he wanted to come back to Mizoram. And Mr. Sandeep Pradhan also promised me that the Director General of SAI, he promised me that he will come to Mizoram at his convenience and will sit down with us. He said that I will dedicate 2 days to study about the development of sports in Mizoram. And Mr. Niloy Bhattacharjee from News 18. Mr. Niloy, where are you? He's sitting at the back. Yes. And Ms. Sudesha Ghosh from Times of India. Sudesha, would you please stand up? Thank you. Mr. Shiva Keshavan. Shiva, would you please stand up from your seat? He is the head of Olympic Scholarship, Reliance Foundation. He is 6-time Olympian, and we are very glad to have an Olympian in our midst. Did I miss out anyone? Anyone who's coming from outside the state which I missed out? All right. My two brothers from Nivea, would you please stand up from your seat? Rupinder and Kishore. I have been in touch with them for the last decade, in fact. Thank you so much for coming for the conclave. And of course, I would like to introduce the leaders of the Sport Association of Mizoram. Would you please stand up from your seat, all the Sport Association leaders from Mizoram? Invite. These are the ones who will really make this conclave a success, because our experts, our panelists will go home, but they will leave behind some homework to be done for this Sport Association. Thank you so much for coming. Kini ho kha atop thleng om tur kan ya kan mi khwal te hi chu thren chu an hun man zon kir le mai dona thren chu voin tlai ho tur te nak tu ka ho tur te ni dona voin le nak tu kan la ne ya nak tu la ma hian kan Olympian nei to pani pulal rem pusila rem sang ale nulala rem siami mar te kom na hun te pom dona in voin kan lo te po hi som kho mila a thome ikhan kan kim main ka khria Mizoram lama mi te kha kan in din tir kim vek seng lowa mi malahan ti turom tak tak te po kanoma amay ro chu kan in khrethi mai don ya. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Putetea. So as we had said earlier, the topic for this session is Shaping the Future Athletes to 2036 Olympics. Vision 2036, the term coined by none other than our Putetea. Tetea to most of us and Mr. Tetea to the football fraternity of India. The vision is to establish a strong, robust sports ecosystem that consistently nurtures athletes who excel at the Olympic level across multiple disciplines. The path in achieving this vision is going to need collective efforts among the different stakeholders, the government, the sports associations, educational institutions, companies, communities and family, working in tandem without losing sight of the goal ahead. The existing infrastructure in the state is limited, and when compared to other states, it isn't among the best. But despite that, our athletes have represented India in different sports for 40-odd years, and we are extremely proud of them. Imagine what our athletes could achieve with better training and state-of-the-art infrastructure. The sport disciplines that have been identified based on various parameters, as mentioned earlier, are table tennis, taekwondo, karate, judo, boxing, weightlifting, shooting, and badminton. Vision 2036 first aims, as the term suggests, to nurture as many athletes of the state of Mizoram to compete in the 2036 Olympics. Therefore, we are looking at the age group of 15 and below as our target group. In 12 years, they will be in their prime. So let us begin this session, Shaping the Future Athletes to 2036 Olympics by introducing our first speaker. Please welcome Shri Shaklyar Wajri, Honorable Minister of Sports and Youth Affairs, Labour Government of Meghalaya. Mr. Wajri is active in government initiatives and regional development projects. Mr. Wajri.
A very good morning to each and every one of you. At the outset, I would like to thank the Honorable Chief Minister of Mizoram, Shri Laludin Homa, the Honorable Minister of Sports and Youth Services, Shri Lal Minlova, for having invited me to be a part of this very wonderful program, which I believe is a great success, not only to the state of Mizoram, but the northeastern states as a whole. I would like to thank all the honorable MLAs, the Sports Minister of Assam, she's on her way here, all the ministers present at this program, and I would like to thank the Chief Secretary and all the officers present at this very moment. Indeed, it gives me a great pleasure to be a part of this program, where I believe I have met the Honorable Minister of Sports a few months back in our state in Meghalaya, where we have discussed the needs to ensure that we take sports onto another level in the northeastern states as a whole. After that discussion that we've had today, you have invited me to be a part of this program, which I believe, like I said, is a very, very wonderful program. Like the host has just announced, that this program in particular is about shaping the athletes for the Olympics in 2036. What I do believe is that in order to shape our youths to become athletes, to represent our country, is that we do not only need to focus on them at an age where they've already grown. I do believe specifically that in order to shape future athletes for our country, we do need to provide them with the best services that we can provide from a very, very young age. You might have the talents in different sports, different discipline. People have different talents and their genetics are different as a whole. So I do believe when you are at a very young age, when you can train them at a very young age, they will grow up to be successful athletes. For example, since I've taken over as the Minister for Sports and Youth Affairs in my state, we have had this particular program where we call the STAR program, where we have tested more than 14,500 youths, 14,500 children, where out of those, where 400 were chosen, and out of those 400, 10 of them were chosen for a special program. Why have we done this? Because I do actually believe that, like I said, from a very young age, you need to train them. We started with this program with an aim to produce Olympians from our state. And I'm very, very happy to see that many athletes have come up from the northeastern states. In fact, I just shook hands with one of the honorable MLAs who has represented our country in football. Mizoram has many athletes who have represented our country. We as a northeastern states, we do have many athletes. And I do believe we have a collective, as northeastern states, we have a collective effort. We do need to have a collective effort in order to take our northeastern states ahead, and not only our states ahead, but the ultimate goal is to take our country forward. I do believe with hard work and dedication, with the collective effort of the government and the people working in different associations, that we can achieve all that. We have spoken so much about infrastructure given to the entire state, infrastructure needed to provide better things for our youth. But then I do believe that not only infrastructure, but the dedication and hard work of these young talents can only take them forward. For example, I'll tell you, there's a very, very young young kid at the age of 7, where at the age of 7, not through good infrastructure, not through anything, but I met this young kid where I was amazed to see that the entire country, even the goalkeeper of the Argentina team who won the World Cup, has posted his story. When I met this very young kid, I asked his entire family, I asked him that, where do you practice? What do you do that you've gained so much of popularity, not only in our country, but you've gained popularity in the entire world, I mean in different parts of the world. When I met him, I asked the entire family, and it was so surprising that they answered that not through good infrastructure, not through anything, but he just practiced in his own backyard at a very small backyard that they had. That just through that, this kid has gained a scholarship in one of the most prestigious sports academy in our country. So I do believe, of course, the government's job is to provide you the best of the best. But I do believe without the dedication and hard work and collective effort, that only through all of these that we can achieve great things. Of course, like I said, infrastructure is much needed. But as northeastern states, we have a lot of challenges. We go through a lot, but I do believe through all these challenges that we will someday come out victorious. So once again, I believe that in order to shape our future athletes, we need to provide them with the best. But like I said, the most important thing is that we work together hand in hand to make sure that we provide you with the best, and to make sure that we come up with Olympians for the 2036 Olympics. So with these few words, I would once again like to thank each and every one of you. Before I conclude my speech, this is on another topic altogether, but I'm very happy to be here in Mizoram. This is my first time. It's such a beautiful state. I was just telling the Honorable Minister that yesterday when I landed, I was thinking, have we landed? Because I couldn't see the runway. There were only hills at both sides. So indeed, it's a very beautiful state. I myself hail from a very hilly state, but not as much as Mizoram. So once again, I would like to visit. I would love to visit only if the Honorable Minister again invites me to be a part of such programs. Like I said, you have a very beautiful state, beautiful people here. I really love the welcoming and everything. So once again, I thank each and every one of you who are present here at this very moment, who has made this conclave a very big success. So with these few words, I conclude my speech. Thank you so much. Kanlom me and Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wadjuri, for your insightful speech. And I think we feel the same way about Meghalaya. I think us people in Mizoram, we feel Meghalaya is a much more beautiful state than Mizoram. So it goes the other way too. Mr. Wajri, I'll just point out just 2 points that he said. That people have different talents. Yes, we all have different talents. And as he said, we have to begin at a very young age to nurture that. And with this conclave, the aim of this conclave is, how do we do that? How do we nurture the young ones? He was talking about the STAR program that they were running in Meghalaya, and I think it is similar to what Vision 2036 aims at, to train Olympians. So as a collective effort, yes, Northeast also has to work together and share the expertises that we have, infrastructure that we have. And I think when we talk about logistics is one important thing, because Northeast region, I think the states are, even though we are close to each other, it's a very tedious job to travel from one state to the other. So moving on we would like to open the floor for question and answer round. If anybody would like to if we have questions for Mr. Wajri, we will open the floor now for that. I think we're ready with the mics. If anybody wants to ask a question, can you please raise your hands so that the ushers can give you a mic. The floor is open for the question and answer round. I think we need to warm up a little bit. Maybe we should all stand and sit again. And maybe shake hands with the person next to us. Should we do that? Let's just stretch our hands up and shake the person's hand next to us. Yes, okay. Do we have a question here? Mr. Wajri, would you like to come and stand here in case somebody wants to ask you a question? Okay, so maybe I shall just consult with my...
Let me be the first one to ask a question to Mr. Wajri. Given a chance, if Meghalaya is hosting this kind of an event in the future, would you invite all of us?
Definitely, I would love to have each and every one of you in our state.
Hello.
But I don't know if it can be as successful as this conclave that you've done.
Anyone from the Sport Association of Mizoram, or even from the journals and our expert? I could see the president of Mizoram Archery Association raising his hand. No?
Hello, good afternoon everyone. I'm Mr. Vilal Zomneda, Archery Association of Mizoram, President. Sir, I'd like to, in your speech, you have said that you've been selecting athletes from the young age. I think that has been going on for the last 2 years. And we are trying to do that also in the previous government, but we could not do that. I think your firm also is in sportality. I think they are doing their thing. But I would like to request our ministers that can we do the same thing for Mizoram? Going through all the villages and picking up the talent and nurturing them through that sportality. And I think the last part was, I think we have gone through around 4,000 athletes and choosing them up to 200 and going down to around 30, 40, which we call them elite athletes. I think that's the way we should go for this, what this, the enclave is all about, to nurture the young boys, young girls, athletes from this age for the future Olympics. And I would have the big questions, why we have chosen only these few sports disciplines, which we are not sure it will be the Olympic also. So like that, I'd like to ask both the ministers, can we do like Meghalaya, catering for this young guys below the age of 15 for 2036 Olympics? And Meghalaya, what have you reached after that, after the elite sportsmen who have been selected so far? Thank you so much.
Do you want me to answer the question or should the minister answer? Because you just asked that, can we do?
No, both of you can answer. One's for Meghalaya and not for the
He asked me
minister.
in Meghalaya.
We haven't selected any sport as yet for this Vision 2036. We are going to have a vision document at the end of this conclave, which we will submit it to the Sports Authority of India as well as the Sports Ministry, and we will sit down and listen to the experts' advice, and we will look at the reality of Olympics and see what are the sports which we can choose. The plan is to have a kind of have a center of excellence where we can have an in-house of all the selected athletes after doing this what we call talent identification program, going through all the villages. That will take maybe 3 years or 4 years. Then after that we want to select the best of athletes, the creams. We want to keep them together under one roof. For that, definitely we will need an intervention from the Sports Authority of India and the Government of India, because with the little budget which we have in the state, we will not be able to achieve it. But we have that vision and we will continue to pursue our goal. That is in a nutshell how I can answer. The rest is for the Meghalaya Sports Minister. Anyway, this session is for Mr. Saklai Watsri only, so don't ask me anything. I'll have my time tomorrow.
If I can just elaborate, thank you so much to the Honorable Minister for having answered that. But if I can just elaborate on this program that I've just spoken earlier, which I call the STAR program. So basically what we have done is, like I just mentioned in my speech, that we do believe that from a very young age you have to be trained and nurtured. So what we've done is we've gone to different parts of our state, where in all the 12 districts that we have, we've gone to different parts and tested all these children in schools, in communities. So basically, why have we done this? See, Meghalaya is a football-loving state. But sometimes just because you love football does not mean that your body, your genetics is fit for football. Sometimes it means that maybe your body, your genetics is fit for weightlifting. So basically we've done this training so scientifically to see that if this particular kid has, let's say, a string on his calves, is he fit for this? Is he fit for that? So that is what we have done. So like I said, but it should be a program that has to be done every year. It cannot be a one-time program if we are really looking forward to, come up with Olympians for the state, from our state. So it has to be an every year program. You cannot just in one program that you will think that, oh, maybe this is done, we can achieve, or we can come up with all these Olympians. But then it has to be an every year program, so that maybe 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, this is a long process. Maybe 5 to 10 years down the line, then only you can produce Olympians, like I said. Thank you.
Any other question? He has a question for you.
Hello, my name is Dr. Efton Chinmoya, representing Mizoram Table Tennis Association. First of all, I would like to congratulate you for being minister in such a still young age. Okay, sir. So you have mentioned regarding this provision for young age to catch them young. Okay. So regarding your government, state government, did you have any provision or any action you have taken to promote those young, talented athletes or sportsmen beyond the SAI, Tata, or any other financial constraint that you can get? So is the government providing any provision for financial constraint for the young, talented sportsmen?
Yeah, like I said, if you can recall from my speech, that we have tested more than 14,500. This is all the government's funded program, where 10 of them are chosen where we financially support them in terms of their education, in terms of the training, where we have put for a 3-year training course. So we have to provide, because these kids were chosen from a very, very far away district, which is far away from Shillong, which is the capital city. So what we've done is we are providing them with the best education, their lodging and everything. So that is what we're doing, we're providing them.
Okay, thank you. And one more question. You have mentioned that the Meghalaya, their main interest is football. But if we are looking at the future provisions, we have to see ourselves in which sports we are fit in. So suppose for the Olympic level, you might be good in, I don't know, taekwondo, table tennis, or badminton. So regarding the future sports pack, did you select like the discipline, not your interest, but for the capability that the Meghalaya sportsmen can come up?
Yeah, so basically that is what we've done. So this, like I said, this program is basically to see what that kid is good for. Like, you know, like I said, if you love football, does not naturally mean that your body is fit for football.
Exactly.
So you have to test them scientifically, and then you can only say that, you know, maybe based on the performance, based on the trainings, then only we can define which sport is actually suitable for them.
Kublai.
Thank you, thank you.
Hello.
Hello. This question is actually for the Sports Minister of Mizoram, but so I am Rosang Puimar from Taekwondo. So from my observance, the Mizos are highly skilled in sports. We are jack of all trades and master of none. Like if you just take any random guy, they will be able to play any game. But the problem is we need to be specialized in a particular discipline. So I wonder if we are going to concentrate on 2 or 3 disciplines, or just all the sports disciplines in general. And we always know the importance of starting young. So is there a possibility that the sports physical education be introduced in the school curriculum? And if the school children can have that activity at least 3 hours a week, then they will be able to learn gymnastics. And from there, the sports coaches will be able to identify which sport they will be good in. So I wonder if there is any program like that, because just doing it blindly may not be the best solution. So thank you.
Do you want me to answer or the...
Both of you, please. Like, are you doing that in the state? Like, how do you catch them young?
Okay, see, like I said, you've just mentioned that it should be done in schools. I don't know about here, but back in our state, we do have physical education. It's a syllabus in the school where it's a 1 hour, it's like a class, a 1 hour class every day. But see, for schools, I think it'll be very difficult for them to do what the government is doing, because of the financial strength that you need to do that. I don't think so for schools it is possible, but yes, of course, physical education is a must subject that I feel that every school has to have.
Yeah, hello. This is Kishore from Nivea Sports. So, when you just wanted to develop a sports, obviously there are 3 pillars are required. One is the infrastructure, second is athletes, and the third, which is very important, which we are not discussing, is all about the equipments. So, when you just talk about the development of sports, we as an industrials also doing a lot of development at our stage, our spaces also. Lot of technologies, lot of advanced sports materials we are making. But is there any specific program wherein we are sharing the thoughts that what kind of products we need to use? Because since whenever we plan these type of programs, we need to use the advanced products. But just after finishing of this, whenever this requirements will come, we always used to buy the level 1 kind of products, wherein and we are expecting that these players can perform and outshine and give their best performance. So I just need to answer a question. Is there any specific engagement program wherein industrialists or the kind of new advanced products can be shared with the associations or the members or the coaches, where, so that you can use or pick those products for their upgraded or upcoming players?
See, that does not entirely depend on the government, which I do strongly believe. See, at the end of the day, like I said, government needs to work hand in hand with all the associations and further. So what we do back in our state is, we provide funds to the associations. We provide funds for them to purchase the best of equipments. But now, at the end of the day, it depends on the associations. So you cannot blame the government. See, the government cannot go buy each and every equipment needed for every child or every youth or every athlete. But then we have associations. That is the main reason why we have associations. So we provide the fund to them. But then at the end of the day, it depends on the associations how serious are they with their associations and with the discipline that they are taking care of. I think I'll take this the last question.
Kublai sir, this may be the last question for you. My name is Dudu. I'm the president of Mizoram Athletics Association. I just want to highlight the results of Meghalaya athletics team in the last notice games, just back in 3 months back in Nagaland. Surprisingly, Meghalaya athletics team doing very well in athletics, along with the help of Australian coach. So sir, my question is, what kind of coaching program did you have practiced in your state, and when and how this project will be started? For example, grassroots level, age group level, or the senior groups. Is there any chances to practice or to convert the same program in our state? Kublai.
Like I said, it's a very good question. So you said we've did well in athletics in the last Northeast Olympics Games, which was held in Nagaland. The coach that you've just mentioned, so he's the one behind the STAR program. So basically, it's a STAR program that we've done, and we have done from a very young age. We have a routine where we test 4 to 7 years, and then 7 to 8, and then so on. So I believe that through these programs, that is one of the reasons that our team has done well. But I do believe at the end of the day, like I said, it goes without saying that it's their hard work as well. It's not only the coaching program or everything, but it's their dedication, it's their hard work as well.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wajri, for answering those questions. We will move on to our next speaker. Our next speaker is Srimati Nandita Garlosa. She has just arrived. Ma'am, would you like to take a breath of? Okay, it's okay? Okay, ma'am. So we would like to welcome Srimati Nandita Garlosa, Honorable Minister of Sports and Youth Welfare, as well as Power, Indigenous and Tribal Faith and Culture and Cooperation, Government of Assam. Welcome, ma'am. We hope you're not too tired, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everybody. A first visit to Mizoram. Thank you for inviting us from the government of Assam. I belong from Dimasa Kachari tribe. I reside in the hills parts of Assam, and sports has always been a major factor for the northeastern part, but I feel that we have always been neglected from the mainland of India in parts of sports. Basically, in the last few years or so, we see ourselves in the limelight of sports. And if we move more about what we find is that there is a game called as cricket, which has dominated the whole idea of sports all around India. Anybody willing to go to other parts in the other disciplines besides cricket was not a question for anybody. It was always a chance for everyone to think that cricket is the only game that we should be there. And fortunately or unfortunately, none from the northeastern part could ever be in the team of India, even if you play the Ranji Trophy or so on and so forth. Keeping that in mind, if we go to other disciplines of sports, there also the next comes football, where everybody is so much associated with it. Physically, we find more agile to it, but at the same time, the same thing comes up, we can hardly be in any Indian team. In the long run, we have seen there is from Mizoram, definitely there is from Mizoram, and it has always been taken up as the next part how we can move it. But Indian football as a team also had never been in the limelight in the world. There were specific individuals, but as a team, it was very difficult for us to move like how cricket had dominated. National game, we call ourselves as hockey, but there also we are lacking behind. So the question for us is, this type of a conclave is very, very important for ourselves as a Northeastern to build ourselves and then to go to the mainland and then to perform it. But nevertheless, as I said, in the last few years or so, sports, not only in Northeast, but sports as a whole of India has got a recognition in the other games that has already been played for the last 4 or 5 years. We used to have the medals from anywhere, any discipline that has been played. And the basic criteria that we can see is there has been a transformation in the sports, and that transformation has usually seen from an experience of the grassroots level where we need to build up. The grassroots level that had been built up in the whole system, what we have seen was Khelo India that had come up. Khelo India centers, if we really see it minute of the minute way, I think that will really build up how we have to move about. I don't know how is Khelo India in parts of Mizoram, but in my state, Khelo India has really taken it up, and we do have youngsters coming up to play in the national as well as an international arena. If I talk of the sports in the conclave as all, I'm just speaking it from one part to the other. If I go more in detail, I'll just say that like how the questions were there. I've heard 3 questions, the answers were there. In that case, if I see the most important, what we need is a coach. That is very, very important. But India as a whole itself, we were in dearth of coach. My state is also in dearth of coach. We are moving forward to see better coaches for the younger generation to come up. If I am a sports person, and if I want to be a sports person, or any parent want their children to be a sports person, there is always a question mark whether to put the children to become a sports person or not. There is always a question mark for any parent. The reason behind, they don't see a life in this sportsmanship. If we see the our generation all over scenario in India, we will see that they have got medals, but after winning the medals, there were nothing policy called as how to give them a better living or a recognition after they left the field of sports. Maybe that is one of the question in the mind of the parents, that they don't want the children to move forward in sports or neither to take it up. That's an individual observation that I see it up. Second observation that I see for any youngsters to move in for a field in the sportsmanship is that we don't see an age when, for example, if I want to shine in life, my promotion comes on the more I grow up, the more my age my promotion is more. For example, I'm working in an office. I need to reach that post, means my age has got to be up and up. As I go up and up, my age increases, I get a promotion. But in sports, it's a very different thing. The more I get my age increase, I am in the downside. So a specific period is only there where you are concentrating only on sports. And as rightly said by my colleague from Meghalaya Minister, that it's a very young age only we have to develop from the very beginning. And the age of a life for a sportsmanship I see is only up to 30 or 35 years. We get a recognition from the name from starting from 17 years till 30 years. We get a recognition in the name. Internationally you play, national you play it, you will be there. But at the end of the more your age moves up, you go for a retirement, you go for this. So that's the way of a sportsmanhood. Everybody, even if I don't speak, everybody understands. But for us is, even though we understand how to change it and how to move forward and how to bring more of the individuals in the sportsmanship from our region is lacking. That is why we have to move forward. Overall, if I combine these 8 sister states of Northeast, then also I will not find 100 number of individuals who are representing India internationally. So that is a very big question for us to think how we can move forward in an international level. There has to be a teamwork, definitely. There has to be a combination of teams from different areas also. And then I think slowly and slowly we will be able to move forward in the future in the arena of sports. Second thing that I find is, if we are very good in one type of sports, we always see it as a model and then we only move towards it. We have to have a diverse way how we try to move ourselves and then make it and part and parcel of an education system. In our state, we are planning with the Department of Education how we can move forward in making it a culmination of sports be as one of the subjects in your education par excellence. That will not be taken up only as a sport period, but that can be tested up, and then that will make it as interest to give an individual how you can be an interest in any type of sports. Here, I don't know what it is, but in my state, I find there are a few sports which we are only concentrating, but I wish that we concentrate more on the other sports also. And for that, we are moving with the different new policies, how we can inculcate and move forward, how we take up a different way of projecting ourselves in the limelight and then move forward. Another thing that when I heard of my counterpart, like my colleague being saying from Meghalaya, that was also very true. No matter how hard we put on policies, no matter how hard we give on coaches, everything we give it. But for an individual to move out, the word is only a hard work. Unless and until you do nobody will be able to move forward unless and until you put your best effort, you put your right effort. I'm very happy to be here. So many personnels over here from different arenas. I personally have been taking charge of the sports department just a year back in Assam. I think there has been a lot of transformation from the whole team of the Department of Sports. We are trying to put it up in the national arena. National games, we are trying to bank it in 2026. That is what we are hoping for. But at the same time, as I said, for an individual also we have to see, for a coach also we have to see, for any participants that they don't face any problem in their nutrition, that also we have to see. So overall, if I take it up as a sports, we will not only see how a person is only playing, but how that can be calculated in a mind and how that has to be a framework. Once a person becomes in the field of discipline in sports, he becomes one of the best disciplined person in his whole life. So that is why even if you don't get a medal or even if you don't get a recognition, but a person can definitely live a very disciplined life once you inculcate the sportsmanship. If we inculcate that sportsmanship in our profession, that is also what I just wanted to give it a brief up about it. Like, it's not only sports where we are putting it in any discipline. If we have that sportsmanship, we will always be in a positive way. I think so many players have already got a recognition from Mizoram also, and from Assam, from Manipur. That's also another limelight, where even if we don't find any other northeastern states, we usually have Manipur in one or the other medal tally, where we can be proud of ourselves from northeast. Shillong with Lajong team has very good with the football, that is well known, which has come up, and I'm sure that many of the northeastern are looking up to it, how we will also move forward. Durand Cup is coming up in Assam for the last few years, and that how is the sports of football is also moving in up in two parts. We have, first it was only in Guwahati, but now we have taken it to other parts of Assam. Second option, we have given it to Kokrajhar. So it's not only the mainland where any of the events can happen. We have to think of the area where it is more important. If I say, for example, if I take off my state, for example, in Guwahati, being Guwahati a metropolitan city where everything facility is available, even if we go for a Durand Cup more, I think the audience will also be less, and the interest of the person, of an individual, will also be less. But if we take it to Kokrajhar, more of the players, the audience will also be there more, the spectators will be there more, and then individuals who have an interest to come and play will also be there more. So these are some of the changes that we need to have it in our policies also, not only thinking of an infrastructure, but how to make an infrastructure develop in an area which has not been developed, but how many human resource can also be there in that particular area. That is also how we have to see. So I think I've spoken more about, I'm a very good sports lover. I do keep on watching lawn tennis to cricket to football to NBA to say it whatever games. And maybe I've never thought myself to be as one of the politicians that I will take it as sports as a department. But I'm thankful to Almighty God that in a very short period of time I've got the opportunity to serve my state in the Department of Sports. And I'm very thankful to the Honorable Minister whom I have met it in Guwahati in Khelo India University Games. And that is how I think I have been invited amongst you all in Mizoram in this sports conclave. Thank you very much.
That was a really interesting speech, ma'am. And you have just come all the way from Lengpui. She must be really tired. But she had so much to say about sports and her state, so it shows how passionate she is about her department. Yes, I'll just state a few lines that really took my mind from your speech. Northeast is neglected in sports by the rest of India. That was how you started your speech. And we do feel that in a lot of ways. And like I had said earlier, before you arrived, Northeast has to work together to make a dent in the rest of the country. Okay, so we will open the floor for questions for Madam Garlosa. Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Honorable Chief Minister and all the honorable sports ministers here. My name is Amit Gadkari. I am the founder director of Nut Sports, and I represent a a very, I wouldn't say neglected, but an area of sports science which is an afterthought, and that is sports psychology and mental conditioning. I have been associated with Arunachal Pradesh, Shillong, and now with Mizoram. And what I have realized is that the talent is exceptional over here. The problem is accessibility to good, qualified sports psychologists and mental conditioning experts. And we have been lucky, we are developing a team slowly and steadily in Arunachal, in Shillong, and now in Mizoram as well. So, happy to play a part, a small part in this whole development. And my question was more to do with the area of sports sciences, and this is probably to all the honorable sports ministers, that what are the steps taken to provide access, not just for the elite and the high performance centers here, but also the grassroots, just to go to the right experts in the area of sports sciences, whether it's bioscience, or whether it's sports psychology, or whether it's sports physiology.
Thank you very much. Actually, what your question was, I will take it in that way. Like, we have not done particularly thinking in that, but at the same time, to develop sports in the state, we have started called as a Khel Maharan. It is a program which is aided by the government only, and it goes down to the grassroots level. And this time we have taken up 5 sports disciplines where we want to concentrate it. And then it has started from every village, every school, where students have to participate. And out of that, you will be surprised to know that 27,000 number of students had finally reached to the destination where they can play it up. But we were very surprised to see that the number of people who had come up for registration were somewhere around 57 lakhs of students. And that 57 lakhs of students was also up to an age of starting from your class 6, if I say that will be from age of 12 till the age of 20, that very particular number has registered yourself in a 57 lakhs. So we found that is a huge number. Based on that, we are also thinking on how to move forward, how to make it an accessibility. So once we move it in a program, the government has already given it a Khelo India. We will be putting it up those students who have really been talented, which have been taken it out from them. There were finals that have been played, there were inter-districts tournaments that have been qualified, and finally in the state level they have played themselves. So from every college, from every school that have become a champion now, we are trying to take it up, not only the college who have become a champion, but from that very particular other colleges where there were individuals who have been performing very good, that have also been sorted out, and that there is a plan which is going on from now on from the government of Assam to how to make it more accessibility, taken under the policy to make it more better. Thank you very much. Any more questions? If no more, some there are? Okay.
Hello. Okay. Good afternoon, ma'am. I see you were talking about how athletes are not treated very well in our country. And we've had, yes, quite a lot of cases regarding that. There was Sida Sahu. She was a 2-time bronze medal winner, and she started selling Golgappa and Papi Chaat after that. And we also had Nauri Mundu, who eventually had to earn 5,000 a month. She was actually, I think she won a medal at the National Women's Games. And then we had Rani, who was an archer, and she won 2 silver medals at the Asian Championship. And also at Bangkok Grand Prize. And they all ended up getting neglected by the government. So you seem very concerned about this issue, and I think that's very important. Considering how many of our officials are gathered here today, what advice would you like to give them, or propose something to effectively make sure that our athletes they get very proper setup and settlement after they've done the sports and whatnot? How would you like to suggest that we take measures properly? Because I think this is a very good chance to share your ideas and advices for our officials here, because we have our Chief Minister here and we have our Sports Minister, and I would really like to ask you regarding that.
Okay, thank you. What I understood from your question is that you wanted to have an answer on the neglected part of an individuals after they won the medal. That is what you want to. That is the question.
And also if we. For us to avoid that, if we can't do it for the whole of India, at least within our own stage age.
Okay. Whenever there is any negativity, there are so many things of the negativity which we are not speaking in the platform when we are getting also. Being a female, it is very difficult for any female to move and then play the game like a man. That is, you may sit down. That is how I see it. For any individual to play and then to get a prize also, take it at a Wimbledon. You won a Wimbledon for the ladies single, and then you win a Wimbledon for a men's. There's always a differentiation in the price of this, whether this is getting more and this is getting less. The psychology of the people is still there, that women will be able to play less and men will be more. If we move out that psychology, I think one part of it will be able to remove. The second part is that females are always being sexually harassed even if they don't speak it up. I don't know how many have the guts to speak it up, but it is always a hidden secret story. So if that is also removed out, I think that will also, the second level will also move it up. The third level is that we have to be very, very clear on a person, if he or she, if she has got a medal and if it's been neglected, a policy has to be there. Like I said earlier, once you are a sportsman and then you are leading a country, you bring a name to the nation, it doesn't mean that only after bringing a medal to the nation, you are being given garland or you are being given a recognition. The recognition has to be till the end of his or her life, so that youngsters can understand, and youngsters will always think that somebody has brought a medal, the name has to be inscribed. So if that policy is being thought over by any of the country or any of the states, I think nobody will be able to be denied. Thank you. Any more?
Hello. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my question is just almost the opposite. In your state, you have like Hima Das, Lovelina Borgohain, Shiva Thapa, who are, I believe, are from the rural area. And ma'am, how did you bring them up to the international level, where they bring the medals for India and all this? And how can we apply the same procedure, bringing from the rural athletes to the international standard? How did the state do about it? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. I think, when Hima must have come out of her own, say also of Lovelina at the initial age. I think the role of the government is very poor when it comes to take it up in the very initial stage. After they have come to one stage, then only the government recognizes. Say for example, when we heard Hima's story, she came up in a recognition from one stage and she had been in a limelight in her own district at one stage. That is how she had been given a platform in the state. What I think is that what I understood from your question is that how do we move it in the rural area, right? Right. Okay, so Hima Das is one individual, Lovelina is the other one, Shiva Thapa is the another one. But those individuals are their criterias, their parents' criterias. If you see a sports that is being built up in my state of Assam, I don't see from the urban area, a category of sports is there when an urban area plays, and a category of sports is there which come from an rural area. I cannot combine both these parts of a sports. Say for example, if I am going for a swimming, I will get it more from the cities because those coaches are more available in the cities. And if I want to make the swimming in my rural area, I will get the raw part of a swimming, but I will not get the professional way of swimming, how it is to be done. So combining of the different types of sports which are in a balance that we have to do, either from the rural area or either from the urban area, we have to sensitize in such a way that both areas also get two types of coaches at the very young age. I don't know whether that answer has been satisfied or not, but I tried to say it up. Yeah.
Good afternoon,
Good
Madam.
afternoon.
Yeah.
She's whispering me, saying me this should be the last question of the time because we are running out of time. So this could be the last question.
Okay. Anyway, I'll be asking your state is much bigger than Mizoram. So what do you suggest for Mizoram, who is having not a good sport facilities, not a good sport athletes, not a good association. Government of Mizoram is much less than your Assam. So what is your suggestion to have international level sport persons? What suggestion you have? What are the advice you have for the state of Mizoram? Thank you, Madam.
Thank you, sir. I will be very proud to be in a state where it is the highest literacy rate, and that is Mizoram in the whole country. Then coming to your point of how do we eat comparison if it, yes, I do understand that my state is more bigger than yours, and then I also understand that your state is, in terms of the geographical area, it is very small. But the hard work, what I believe, and the dedication, if you have it among the people of Mizos, there is no dearth of being comparing as a large and small. Even for a very small place, we do get huge number of individuals who can come and represent your place. What I will suggest is that you try to see in which type of a sports we are more aligned to. If I am more aligned to an individual sports, our people will go and then get our individual medal. If you are more aligned in a team's area, anybody in the village will be using a catapult, or be using a tir dhanuk, that is archery we say. That will be very, very fun. But have we ever thought of developing that very individual from that very interior of the village? We never thought of it. We just left it go. We just thought that, okay, that boy in that village is using a catapult is only to kill one bird. But they have never thought that to kill a one bird is having an aim which can kill it with a small marble or a small stone to hit that one and then to get it. We have never thought in that way. We have only thought that, okay, that he or she is using a catapult to only give it, or he or she is using a bow and arrow only for a purpose. My purpose of thinking is, if that is what we have to believe, an individual, we have to take it out the talent, it has to be taken it out from the grassroots level, where we know ourselves, where we are far more better than others. If I am trying to make a cricket from here, I will try to have a coach, and I will have to see a YouTube always to understand what is a leg spin, what is a Google, what is a googly, what is this, what is that, I'll have to see. But if I just go to any of the village and to a very interior village and then teach him to see this cricket, he'll have to learn more of it rather than using a bow and arrow. So my purpose of suggestion in Mizoram is try to see an individual game where we can represent more number of individuals in the medal tally. Try to choose the type of a game where we are more aligned to, rather than not of what the fame of how the sports is supposed to happen in all over India. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the questions. Thank you, Honorable Chief Minister, for inviting me to your state. Thank you once again.
Ma'am, if you could just wait for some time. Okay. That was an interesting Q&A round. Before we go ahead to our next program, we would like to have a photo session. The Chief Minister and I think who is going to arrange the photo session? Yes, they will call out if His Excellency can come here on the stage, I think. We shall move on to the next program. The special item by Mizo Dance Camp.
I'll take it from you, Susan. Now, I would assume it's common knowledge for most people in Aizawl that there is a group here in this city consisting of astoundingly talented people committed to the art of dance. It would be safe to say that these people could very well tell you, or rather show you today, all the little tricks and moves of contemporary 21st century dancing. So, without further ado, let's give a big hand to the Mizo Dance Camp.